Hey guys, this is Chris Bate coming at you. Today I'm going to talk about how to combine two different scripts into one script. And to do that, I'm just going to use this game, Alan Awake, a game I truly just love playing. It's an older game, I know, but it's really good mystery game. And I'm going to be using that. We got basically two different locations in which the values for like ammunition are stored. We have one that's an inventory ammunition, and we have one that's a chamber ammunition. Let me get in the game and show you right quick. Okay? Alright. Let me get rid of the flare gun. Alright, you see here, if you look up in the upper right hand corner, you see that we have a 99. Of course, I've already got codes for this already, but we have one that's 99. That includes our inventory as well as our chamber. And then we have these little dots over here representing our chamber ammunition. When the chamber ammunition gives out, then you reload, and it takes some from the inventory as well. So let me show you. And you can see the chamber going down. Ammunition going down, you reload, put some new one in there. That 93 is how much ammo we got all together, and the chamber goes back down, and so forth. But what I want to do, oops, let me get rid of that. What I want to do is I want to have inventory ammunition as well as the chamber ammunition. And both of those are located in two different places in memory. There's operation codes that control the chamber. There's operation controls that are separate that control the ammunition or the inventory ammunition. But to do that, I have to have two different scripts going. I have to have one that's controlling that ammunition in the inventory, and I have to have one that's controlling the chamber value. So I got two different scripts I got to find, or two different opcodes I have to manipulate. Well, first I'm going to do that, but what the resulting goal is I'm trying to do is have both of those different codes working, yet all I have to do is combine those into one code and just label it infinite ammunition, and it will control both of them. And that's what we're doing. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on how to look up values. You're going to sit here and see me do it here, and you can kind of pick up on it. It doesn't take, a rocket scientist to figure this out. There's plenty of vids out there that'll show you how on my channel, Sneaky Mofo, and just all over the place. It's not really hard to find that. This is a lesson that is more advanced. I know we have not discussed array of bytes, which we will in the future. However, I am going to be using array of bytes. So this is assuming that you do have a basic knowledge of scripting, that you already know how to find values. So this is a more intermediate advanced lesson in how to do things. So if you find yourself getting lost, you may want to go back and brush up on your basics of finding values, writing basic scripts, and then come back here and go from there. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and assume that you are up to speed on things, and you're probably at the intermediate level and would like to understand how to combine two different scripts into one script. Well, there are lots of methods you can use. This is one method, and I suggest starting this method first before you go into the more advanced methods. Okay, so here we go. Right now we're just going to find our values. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and attach Cheat Engine to the game. And the first value that I want to find, let's just say I want to find this chamber value, which we know. And I've already looked these codes up. You can see here I've already got a ton of codes already, and I'm going to get rid of these for the time being. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get rid of that. I don't want you getting confused. So I just want to do it with a fresh cheat engine here. So let me get rid of that and bring up just a fresh cheat engine here. Just reattach it to the game. Open. And no, I don't want to load up the cheats I have already. I've already got a ton of cheats on this game already. I've got infinite stamina where you never get tired. I got all the infinite ammunitions, health, infinite flashlight battery, all that mess. But for right now, we're just concentrating on the lesson, so I just want to do that with a fresh start. So right now we're going to find the chamber value, which I already know to be, to save time, on the value type of 4 byte. And we're just going to go ahead and put that on S6. Do our first scan and go ahead and change the value of that. We know that's on 4. Now we know it's on 2. And we're left with 2 codes, which is an internal code and a display value. I don't know which one is which. So what I do is I just go ahead and put 1 at 4 and 1 at 6 and see which one is manipulated when I go back to the game. And we see the bottom code, it filled it all the way back up, so we know the bottom code is our internal code and the top one is our display code. So let's go ahead and get rid of the top one, as we don't need it. Find out what's writing to this address by right clicking on it. Puts a breakpoint on right. Yes. Attaches the debugger. Go back to the game and let's just go ahead and fire off a round. And here is our opcode instruction. And like I say, I'm not getting into this, but just basically this is what's writing to our address, which is stored in ECX, and EAX is holding our current new value. And it's just constantly writing in there. Every time we unload a round, it's just writing the new value into our address or our storage location. So let's go to our disassembler. Let's go ahead and stop and close this. We don't need that anymore. Now there's lots of ways you can do that, and a lot of people like to go to subtraction and deal with it. And just for the sake of time also, I've already done all this and know that it's better just to manipulate the opcode that writes to the address. I do know that these decreasing values and subtractions that are influencing other things as well that will crash your game, but the address itself is just for our chamber, and that's what we're going to use. So we're going to go ahead, and assuming that you know how to write a basic script, we're just going to jump into it by auto assemble. Our template here we're going to use, we're going to go ahead and add an enable and disable. And we're going to use AOB injection scan. We want to keep that. And right here, we want to rename the inject to what we are working with here, which is our chamber ammunition, or our chamber, what's affecting our chamber code. And I want to change it to that. Let's go ahead and get rid. Sorry about that, I had a little technical difficulties there, so I'm going to redo that right quick. Right here where it brings up that box that says inject, we're going to change that to chamber, just so we want to label it as we know what we're dealing with. We can get rid of some of this stuff on here. All the stuff down here we don't really need. It's just a snapshot of the disassembler. So we don't really need all that mess. Now, without getting into how to make it, be infinite, it's assuming you already know how to do all this, like I said earlier, and we're just going to go ahead and put in what we know works. And I'm just going to change the value to integer 6, and basically it's just going to keep writing 6 into our chamber. And it does work because I've already tested it, so I already know it works. But we want to try it just to make sure. Assign to the current cheat table. Go ahead and exit out of it. Close that out of the way. Here's our AOB scan code right here. Let's turn it on. And let's just go make sure it works. So going back to the game. And as you see, our chamber is not going down, so that is a valid code. What I want to do is to go ahead and change some of the labels on here, because we're going to be adding our ammunition code to this same script here in just a moment. Alright, so we want to go change some of our labels so we can do that, because we're going to have some of the same things. We're going to have 2 different allocation memories locations. Let's go ahead and put that down to 100 instead of 1000. You don't need all that memory allocated. We're going to go ahead and change that to new mem A. We're going to change this here to code A, and we're going to change this label to return A. And also you need to change them down here because these are the same, these are the labels right here. So let's go ahead and change that so we can direct Cheat Engine on where everything is. And make sure that you change them in your script as well. The return A needs to be there. The code A needs to be there. The return A needs to be there. So you see that we need to make sure that every single label is changed accordingly as not to confuse it. Okay. And it looks like we have all that. We need to deallocate new mem A down here as well. Let's make sure that we got everything. Oh wait, we don't need chamber A, sorry. That's just chamber because that's up here. Sorry about that. Make sure that every label is changed accordingly so that it's functioning correctly. We're going to go ahead and click OK. It'll let us know if we made any mistakes. And we didn't. Let's go and make sure it's still working with our new changed labels. And it does. Turning it off. And our chamber's going back down. Very good. Now we want to go ahead and get our inventory ammunition, which right now is at 74. So we're going to go ahead and go back in the Cheat Engine. Bring this over so I can see it. And put in 74. We're going to go ahead and do a new scan. I also know that that's also the value type of 4-bit or 4 bytes. And now it's down to 72. And we only get 2 codes here, and it's basically going to be an offshoot of this code. So I know that it is the bottom one, and we can test it. We can go ahead and put that up to 80, and just to make sure it goes up to 80, and it does. Going back down to 79, 78, and we know that's the actual ammunition code. Let's go ahead and get rid of the chamber code so it doesn't confuse anybody. And now we're dealing with ammunition down here. We're going to do the same thing we did for the chamber. Let's go ahead and find out what's writing to that address. Go ahead and give off a couple of shots. Oops. Right here we see that we shot it twice, so we know that this is the location that's writing to our ammunition. Let's go ahead and bring that location up in our disassembler. And now we have our ammunition location, and this is the same thing with chamber in Allen Awake. We just want to manipulate what's actually writing to that address, because that's, as right now I've noticed, that's the only thing that opcode affects is that ammunition inventory. So let's go here and auto assemble and write us a new AOB script for our ammunition. And we're going to do AOB injection. Click OK on that one, and here we want to change the inject to ammo, because we know that's affecting our ammunition. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this old crap there, and let's go ahead and get rid of this here. Now what I'm going to do is basically the same thing I did for the chamber. However, I'm going to, well, let's go ahead and first of all get our code in there, sorry about that, which is going to be integer, and I'm going to have it write 99. Let's go make sure the code works, or I jumped ahead of myself like I almost did. And assign to current cheat table, close it down. Let's click on the button and shoot off around, and there it is at 99. We have both of them going. Hang on a second. Oops, my bad. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Okay, it's already got me confused. Okay. And let's turn on both our scripts. Make sure that they both work. They do. Okay. We already changed all the labels in the first script. So the second script is our ammunition that we just now wrote. Let's bring it back up. And what we're going to do is we're going to change all these labels to B. The first one was A, now we're going to change all these to B. Okay? And I like to go ahead and do it in its separate location. When you get more comfortable with doing this, you can actually just go in there and write it yourself into one script. But when starting out, just to learn the template form of it, you want to just do it separately, then combine them later. And new memory B. And we're going to be discussing in a later vid about AOB injections and things like that. I know we haven't covered it, so I don't want to confuse anybody, but for right now, this is assuming that you know how to do this. You can go to Sneaky Mopo's channel right now for basics of AOB scans. I'll put his link in the description. He's got some great ones on his cheat engine tutorial channel on YouTube. I really suggest go and watch those. He gives some great ones, beginning all the way up to advanced AOB scanning. So go definitely watch that. But for right now, we're just combining it, assuming you know how to do that. Okay. Make sure that all our labels are changed and everything in the script is changed accordingly. We have it allocating the memory just to 100, and when it disables, we're unregistering the ammo signature as well as deallocating the new memory. Make sure it's memory B, returned here needs to be B. Everything needs to be changed to whatever we put the labels as. Yeah, it will let us know if we made any mistakes. So let's just go ahead and click OK. And let's see where I screwed up here. Line 19. Oh, MOB. I didn't need to do that. I'm bad about that. Just ammo. We don't need to change that one because that's the only thing it's called, because the other one's called chamber, so we just call that ammo. I do that all the time. That's just a screw up. You can just keep that the same, because then we don't have two different ammo names. Okay. So let's see now if we got everything correct. Let's see here. This is what's good about this. It lets you know every single thing that you screwed up on. I got another one here I did it on, didn't mean to. And it's good I made those mistakes, because that way you can see that Cheat Engine's really good at showing you, hey, listen, this ain't right. I ain't got a label called this, so you need to get rid of it. It's really good at letting you know your mistakes. Let's turn it off and back on. And we know we got our labels changed in that. Let's make sure it's still working. And it is, so we're good to go. So now comes the task of combining these two scripts. So let's go back to our chamber that we labeled everything and say, this is going to be our one that we're going to combine our ammo into. Okay? And here's how we're going to do that. We have it doing our AOB scan and allocating our new memory up here, and we're going ahead and defining our labels up here. We also want to put our AOB scan for our ammo up here as well. So let's bring up our ammo script that we already have done. So all we really need to do is copy and paste it right here. And right underneath that, we're just going to Control V and copy and paste it. So we have it AOB scanning for our chamber location, which is at these array of bytes here. These are the opcodes that control these down here for our chamber, and it's going to do that scan. It's going to register these labels for code A, and these are all the labels that it's jumping to manipulate our chamber values. And we're having it do a new scan, a new AOB scan for our ammo. And we've already got all that changed as well. So we want to come down here, make sure all this is the way it should be, and it is. What we want to do is come down underneath it, and we want to copy and paste starting with new memory B and all these codes here. We're not going to worry about the disable codes yet. We're going to get to that in just a second. We want to skip down a couple of spaces and control that. So what it's doing is now we have a new memory allocation for our chamber codes that we manipulated. Now we have our new memory B locations for our ammunition. So it knows to only use new memory A for our chamber and our new memory B location for our ammunition inventory. Okay. I know it's a little confusing. I hope I haven't lost anybody, but it's the same script codes. We're just dictating to Cheat Engine both of these different locations control different things, where you just want it to combine it into the same script. So we're just having to rename everything, and it's basically doing the same things. It's scanning the module for ammo. Okay, I know it's here. Alright, where's this memory allocated at? It's allocated, we're calling it new memory B. It's jumping down here. Okay, here's new memory B. I'm going to read this for the ammunition. It says, okay, the chamber is already scanned for the chamber value. Since I know that the chamber value is at new memory A, so it's jumping here to new memory A and says, okay, I know all this is for my chamber value. And that's what it's doing. But when we turn it off, we need to instruct it on how to turn it off. We've already got it turning off our chamber. We've already unregistered everything. That's when we untick the little X box. I'm sorry, the little box with the X in it, not your Xbox, but the little box with the X in it over here. When we untick it, it's going to turn everything off and return everything back to normal. So we have to instruct it how to do that. That's what the disable feature is. So we've already got it done for the chamber, so all we need to do is for the ammunition, which we've already done over here. So we just copy and paste it, and we're letting it know that to define the bytes, or to find the bytes at this array of bytes scan here, that it needs to just unregister everything and return to normal. That's it. That's all there is to it. And like I said, it'll let us know if we screwed anything up. So let's go ahead and assign. Actually, we don't have to assign it nothing. We can go ahead and click OK. It'll let us know if we made any mistakes. We haven't. We can go ahead and close this on down. We can turn both of these off. We know that the top one is the one that contains both our scripts now. So we can just go ahead and call that infinite ammunition or infinite ammo. We can get rid of this bottom script. Delete that. Let's turn it off. Let me go back to it. I make this mistake all the time too, and I should make sure that both of them are off before I start messing around and deleting everything. So let's go ahead and end this task of Out and Awake. That'll unattach Cheat Engine to it. Let me just bring it back up. That's a rookie mistake I keep making too, so you know, it happens. 2 seconds. There we go. Let's just get back to our game. Put it back up. Alright, let's go back to it and go ahead and reattach Cheat Engine to our game, Out and Awake. Alright, keep the current code list. Yes, I want to keep that one. And no, I do not. Wait a minute. Yeah, we want to go ahead and disable it too on top of it. So we know that this is the scripts that we combined. We have our labels A, we have our labels B, we have everything functioning the way we want it to. No mistakes in it, or Cheat Engine would have told us. Click OK. Make sure that they're turned off, that nothing's on. They're going down like a normal game would. Let me just get it down about halfway like that. And let's go back to Cheat Engine and let's turn it back on. And it should manipulate both the inventory ammunition as well as our chamber ammunition. Got it turned on, and now it should manipulate both. There we go. Look at that. So now we have successfully, now we can turn it back off, and we can turn it back on as you see fit. And it's scanning for both of those array of bytes, and everything's working great. And that's a basic lesson on combining two different AOB scans. So I hope that this helps you. Like I say, there's many ways to do it. There's way more advanced ways than this to do it. But this is a template to help, get you started, being new at it. And I'm kind of new at it myself, so I'm learning as I go. And like I always tell you, when I learn something new, I like to go ahead and share it with you. I'd like to give a shout out to the Cheat Engine website. Also, a specific thing there that I found. STN provided a template on how to combine scripts, and I'm going to put that link in there for you as well. I'm going to bring that up for you right quick over here. This right here, they provided us just a basic template on how to combine scripts. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can go directly to that and you can look at STN, which is a very prominent person that can hack games very well and very good at answering a lot of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and put this template address right there in the description, so feel free to go there and you can look, and somebody's already asked this question, and basically I followed this template in this tutorial. So basically this is putting their template into practice, and I'm showing you how to do it. And if you need to go back and look at a template of how it needs to be constructed, you can see it here, and it's based off these two different script codes up here that they were asking about, and they were just telling them how to combine them into one script, which we just did on a different game. So I'll go ahead and put that in the description over there for you, and you can just go look at that and use that. Feel free to watch this video again. I know it's a little complex. It may get a little confusing for you. I get that. Believe me, it kind of confused me. I'm the hands-on. I mean, I can sit here and watch this kind of stuff all day long, but until I just get in there and just actually do it myself, it's just not really going to sink in. I really encourage you to go ahead and give it a try. Go ahead and make mistakes and find out what you're doing wrong and everything, and that will help you get better at it. Then you can go on to the next level, to more advanced stages of combining scripts, different AOB scans. And like I said, also we'll be getting into basic AOB scanning as well. Okay guys, that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or write me privately via YouTube. I'm more than happy to help you any way I can. I'm out of here. You guys take care of yourselves. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, like always, enjoy yourselves. That's really what it's all about. Cheat the game, guys. Take care now.